What is up, guys? Proper Truth here, and welcome back to the channel. So I remember back then when Cyberse was first announced, back in 2-3 years ago, I would say 2017. I said that Cyberse / Code Talkers were gonna slowly creep up into the meta, and that's what it's doing now. In OCG, they are like dominating over there with the Code Talkers. However, they are playing it a lot different than how I'm playing, how some of these players in TCG are playing it. We play more. They're doing trap cards, we're doing more like hand traps, stuff like that. Now, I know I recently had posted up a video about 3 weeks ago of my Cyberse deck profile, but I did change it up this time because I went into a tournament with it yesterday, and I ended up going X1 with it. Hit 5th place. I was going for 4th place, but at least I hit the top 8. So I wanted to actually give you guys this profile because this is I did some changes to it, and like changes that you guys probably wouldn't think I'd change into it, like taking out certain Cyberse cards out of the deck to just try to make it work. So I don't want to stay too long in this video, so let's get straight to the profile. But before we do, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to the channel, show some love by hitting that subscribe button and that notification button as well. You guys ready? Let's go. Alright guys, let's get straight to it. I just want to apologize for any of the noise in the background. Like they're doing, it's been crazy because they've been doing construction for like 3 years and this is still going on. So I do have a side deck, as you guys can see. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna try to breeze through this as quickly as I can because there is something else I want to talk to you guys about. So first up, I finally got my 2 other Iblis. This card is, it's a floodgate. This card is so broken. When it's normal summon, you can special summon a Cyberse from your graveyard to it pointing to her, and whenever it leaves the board, doesn't have to be link summon, guys. Like you can talk back Lancer, tribute her, and she'll hit the grave and she'll special summon to your opponent's side of the field. That's what she'll do. Once she leaves the board, your opponent gets a hand of her. This stops Nibiru, this stops Gamma, this stops Imperm. This stops pretty much the most important hand traps that your opponent would try to use to stop you. Now, if you have like microcoder or any coder monster that's in your hand that you can link, you can normal summon her and like just instantly link her out of the hand. That way you avoid the Nibiru, you avoid, the only way they really want to stop her is either by Bell or if they're gonna actually Gamma her, and that's gonna be a waste for them because now you can go off. Now it's crazy, it's crazy because yesterday I was playing against my boy Mars. We were in the final round, and he Gammaed this, and because he had the Nibiru in his hand, so he had to do that. But the crazy thing about it, once he Nibiru'd me on game 3, I was still able to game him with access Code Talker. So there are ways that if you do get Nibiru'd, even not by stopping Nibiru by her, but if you still get Nibiru'd, you can still play around it, and you'll see later through the deck. So definitely 3 Iblis. I feel like with Code Talkers you should be playing 3 Iblis. You have to. It stops literally everything, so you can be able to go off. Next up, obviously the 3 ladies. You have to keep the ladies in here, 3 of them. It's your Stratos, obviously, searching literally 90% of the deck. You have to keep the debugs in here. Then probably the hardest part of the heart and soul of the deck is your 3 microcoders. You want to play microcoder at 3. I've seen some builds decide to drop it to 2, but I personally think that if you're playing the lady debug, I mean the Ibli package, you remember, if you normal summon her and you don't have an extender other than the cards to link in the hand with, you want to do that right away and build up your extenders from there. Like that's why I decided to keep him at 3, and as well as playing 2 code radiators now, simply for that reason, because you want to be able, if this is your normal summon, you want to link her right away, so obviously you're going to link in the hand. This saved me so many times. And in the final round against Mars, Mars was playing Invoke Shadal. I didn't see any Dogmatic on the deck, but it was Invoke Shadal. And on game 3, the only real reason why I won was because of her, because he El Shadal fusion to summon Winda after I summoned shooting Code Talker, and then I had activated Codex effect to search for her, and she was the reason why I did it. I only had 1 extra special summon left, and that special summon was her with shooting Code Talker and to access Code Talker, triggering her effect to target the window to negate it and drop his attack to 0. and I still had extenders in the hand for me to go off to finish him for game while he had the Nibiru on the board and the Mecha, but he already used the Mecha as effect. So it was, this card is what really helped me save the game, win the game, was because I stopped that window and I was able to get enough monsters to push for game along with the access code talk at 5300 attack. And then the one code generator, I, as you saw in the last profile, I kept this, I dropped it to 1 and I decided to keep it at 1. It's a good card, but once I rather play one of these than 2 radiators, just because radiators stop, like you can chain block like other combo decks such as Dragon Links and stuff, and be able to still be able, you'll force them to negate this, or it's gonna go through. And it's funny because if she leaves the board, she'll actually double that effect basically, so targeting 2 monsters and negating them and putting them to 0. So definitely, yeah. And with him, it's, I'm not gonna explain what I did against the invoke Shaddolls, because it was so much, it was so much chain that I actually had them, I summoned them on board and then I linked them with the microcoder, and then I did the whole chain 1 codec, chain 2 microcoder, chain 3 generator. Now if I did that, that's when I went to go off from there with my second code talker, and then went into I link climbed into the shooting code talker. When he chained into the window, I made sure that I didn't mill, because since he left from the board, I had the option to add it to the hand. I didn't want to mill anything else, so I was like, you know what, let me add let me just add a random monster to the hand, and that's what I ended up doing, just so I didn't have to waste that additional special summon, that last special summon when Window was on board. So 1 is fine. Then off to the extenders. Some of the extenders. I'm playing the 1 backup secretary and the 1 C archiver, just extender guys, free special summons. The 1 balancer lord, and I'll throw this in here, and the 1 sigma. Sigma, as I explained last time, I took out the Nabla and put in the sigma, because this actually helps for a free special summon if you rip it first turn, or like if you get rid of if you link away something from the extra monster zone and then to summon it over here, and this is in the grave on the hand, you can still special summon it because there's nothing in the extra monster zone. Again, an extender. Balancer load at 1, because you're gonna search him with the codec and special summon him with inverter. Then the 2 parallel exceeds, just 2 guys. So far it's been working well. I know some people want to play 3. I wanted to play 3, and I was playing 3 at one point, but as I mentioned in the last video, it's just you didn't want to see it. You didn't want to see you only wanted to see 1 in the hand. And thank God throughout the whole tournament yesterday, I did not at all see both of them in my hand. I got so lucky. I went up against a Mystic Mind player and I 2-0'd him. So that was a whole nother story. That was hilarious, guys. Then the 1 Gacheri, free special summon, and as well free protection. Like it was funny because I actually summoned Transcode Talker, using him as one of the materials against the Invoke Shaddol against Mars, and I activated his effect to target the Transcode Talker to make him unaffected by everything until the end of the next turn. And Mars was like forced to stop that because he had Nibiru in the hand. He wanted to like really make sure that I get a Cyberse off the board, so he really had to. I forced him to negate this, and it worked out. Then the 1 gadget. The 1 gadget is fine, searchable, which is obviously this whole deck is freaking searchable. And if it leaves the board, you get a free token. So like even if you don't get a special summon by his effect, you can still link him off and still get a monster on board. Then other extenders, the Dotscaper, the Lincoln for Flyer, the Cyberse Converter, and the Cross Debug. These are all extenders, guys, all free special summons. This you're most likely going to mill, which is Generator, or if it's in your hand, you're going to use Sign and Mind in the picture to get a free special summon out of it. Regardless, it's still an extender. I'm still playing the Cross Debug for many reasons, not only for the special summon, but Tri-Brigade is a thing, and majority of them link. So whenever your link battles another link, this is a built-in honest in the graveyard. So your opponent probably won't even realize this is a graveyard effect unless they really decide to read it. But it helped. I'm telling you guys right now, it helped against Tri-Brigade. So again, extenders. And then as you guys can see, that was pretty much the whole Cyberse engine. If you guys haven't noticed, I took out the Salad engine because the Salad engine is great. Like I wanted to keep it in here, especially in the tournament, but I took it out because of new cards that I added, such as Drone Lockbird. I'm gonna put Drone Lockbird at 3. Drone Lockbird I mained stuff in here that most people wouldn't main, and I think that's what made me end up going X1 with this deck. Drone Lockbird is so clutch in many ways, especially like when invoke players go Meltdown, search Invoker, and then you go Drone Lockbird. Now they can't search the invocation. That kind of slows them down in a way. So and other combo decks such as Dragon Links and stuff like that. Like I went up against Omega. He was playing the layer deck, the layer Abyss deck. I was able to 2-0 him because of just one of the reasons was because of Droll, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Like he was like, show me that draw, and I just ended up showing him the draw, and then I had the Lady Debug in hand, which indicates full combo already, and I still had more extenders in the hand. So that was the monster lineup, guys. Again, I will put Drolls at 3. Just got to see what to fit in it. Off to the spells. Obviously, you're playing the bread and butter. You got to play your 3 Silent Minings. It's your Rhoda. It's your, again, like a Lady Debug. And then for the next cards, guys, as I told you guys that I was going to do, and I ended up doing Triple Tactic Talents. This card, I took out Droplets, and I actually sided the Droplets, and I mained Triple this time because, as I mentioned in the last video, this is a combo deck. If you get Ash, if you get Nibiru, you know, you believe it or not, that really hurts. You know, and the fact that just because I got Ash or Nibiru, this still saved me. It got me to my combo pieces. Either I drew 2, or I snatched a monster and ended up linking like into transcode or access code or even firewall with it. It was clutch. Like, I personally like this at 3. You can play 2. I did say in the last video I think 2 would be fine, but I really needed to see this. I needed to see what would work, 3 or 2. So 3 was perfect for me. If I ended up winning the game 1, I actually, believe it or not, sided it out because I'm gonna end up going second anyway. So that's when I'll put in the Droplets and stuff like that, all the stuff to go up against the meta decks. So the cool thing about it, game 1 is clutch if you're gonna get hand trapped. Game during side, it's easy to side out. So it was instantly 3-sided cards into here, like either your Nimbirus or your Lanciers and stuff like that. So definitely Triple Tactics. And another addition was the Triple Cosmic Cyclones. Like I mentioned before, I went up against Mystic Mine, and that I thought I was going to lose. I really thought. I knew, obviously, I had a chance to ripping this and winning. However, I didn't think I was going to rip it as much as I thought I was going to do. Game 1, I already had 1 in the hand. He set up board with activate Mystic Mine. I won the die roll, by the way. On the end phase, I just Cosmic Cyclone his Mystic Mine. Game 2, I LTK'd him after that. Game 2, he shuffled. He power shuffled and everything to make sure I don't get it. I sided in Harpy's Feather. I had so much back row hate, it was hilarious. I ended up drawing 2 of these. He went first. He bricked. He actually set Imperial Iron Wall so this doesn't work, and I activated Mystic Mine. And I drew. I activated the first Cosmic Cyclone to destroy the Mystic Mine. He changed Imperial Iron Wall. I changed the second one to hit the Mystic Mine again. So, and then I had full combo, and that's how I was able to 2-0 him. So it was hilarious. So I think this helps. This helps better than Twin Twister because it gets it off the board. And Twin Twister, you have to pitch a card out your hand. Sometimes you just don't want to pitch your combo pieces. So Mystic Mine, wow. Cosmic Cyclone at 3. Cyanide Codec, my last video I was playing 2 as you guys saw, but I jumped it back to 3 because this is your Rhoda for every attribute. And this is the reason why people hate Code Talkers, hands down. So you gotta play your 3, guys. And then the one-ofs is the Call by the Grave, the Optimization, and the Salome Grey Sanctuary. A lot of people can't get over this with the Ibli. So that's when the majority of them scoop. I went up against when the deck that I lost to, which was the Invoke Shadal Dogmatica build. Game 1, I smoked them. Shout outs to you, Jason. I smoked them. because of the whole U-Lock, Ibly, and display. But after that, I ain't gonna lie, he got it after that. So, and this is just an arm 80, so this actually, don't forget guys, like this shuts down back row. If your opponent, if you're entering battle phase and the moment your Code Talkers attack, your opponent cannot activate anything until after the, whatchamacallit, the battle phase. Is it the battle phase? I think it's the battle phase, or the until the end of the damage step. My apologies. So remember guys, like your opponent, this is an arm 80s. Your opponent cannot activate anything until the end of the damage step with this. So when your Code Talker is attacking, so don't forget that guys. This helps when you're playing heavy back row and they think they're gonna beat you from there. Then the only trap, conflict. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. People hate this. Like, this is such a broken card. Like, I want to play a second one just to see it, and then I can always search another one. So it's funny how people get scared of this immediately, because this is a called by the grave on crack. So, and the fact that you can search it is crazy. Just to let you guys know, it is 42 cards. My apologies for NYPD acting up outside. Let's go straight to the extra deck. 42 cards, guys. Gotta keep your tokens, so when you get your Nimbirus. First up, my baby, Firewall. Believe it or not, I summoned, out of the whole tournament, I probably summoned him at least 3 times. All clutch. It replenishes your hand, at least 1 card into the hand, and then bounce something else. Or if like really is that bad, you're gonna get at least 2 bounces out of this. So 1 Firewall, and then this is the rest of the Link Force. It's gonna be your Avermax and Access Code. Now in my last video, I took out Avermax because I was testing Code Talker, but I went into a tournament. I was like, Code Talker is great, I love him, but he ain't stronger than Avermax. So Avermax held down the board every time I did the U-Lock. It was either Avermax or Firewall that was in the U-Lock, and they were holding down the board. And a lot of people just can't get through it. And then like by the time they pass their turn, you're gonna go and you're gonna link into the Access Code Talker, and you're gonna push for game from there. So these are your only Link 4s that you should be playing, honestly, and they are the best Link 4s. Next up as the Link 3s, obviously, like I always tell you guys, you gotta play the family right here. You gotta play that X code, transcode, shooting code. Shooting code was, I was about to take him out, and thank God I didn't do that because of the fact that when I went up against Mars in the final round, he was the reason why I won, to search for the cold radiator and then go off from there. Transcode, I want to put him to 2. I see a lot of builds playing him at 2, and then after the tournament last night, I realized why. I just don't have the space. So if you guys got some ideas, please let me know. X Code Talker, this $10 to $15 card already. I did not expect that for him to start creeping up. He was 70 last week or 2 weeks ago. He was like 70 bucks. You gotta play him. He is like, he protects literally a lot of everything that he's pointing to. The Link 2 Code Talkers is your, I jumped up Code Talker to 2. As you saw in my last video, I was playing it to 1. This actually helps when you are playing it at 2. As you saw, I took out Tri-Brigade, not Tri-Brigade, oh my goodness, Tri-Gate Wizard. I said Tri-Brigade. Tri-Gate Wizard for the second Code Talker, because this was a lot more better than going into a Link 3 that you're not guaranteed to get a negate on, depending on the board. So you'd rather use him as an extent to use the Sign Coder to extend more, or just because you need a Code Talker's name. Code Inverter, great card. Keep it at 1. You don't need more than 1. I'd rather you play 2 Code Talkers than 2 Code Talker Inverter. The other Link 2s, Splash Mage, Update Jammer. You have to, and this gets you the game with the Access Code Talker. This gives you an instant Link 3. It's a monster born. Sometimes it's not even a Link 3. Sometimes you just bring back a level 1 Cyberse monster, so you can be able to link this away into the Avermax with your transcode, or a Firewall with the transcode, and then you go and link off the level 1 to talk back, and you go off with the combos right there. So that's why you gotta play that. Guys, my apologies if you guys hearing my neighbors. Like, just these guys are wild. This is New York for you. Then the reason why I could play through Nibiru, Link Spider. Link Spider is so clutch. This card here is your answer to Nibiru, guys. This is the card. Like, this is one of the reasons why. You could play through Nibiru just because it is. You could also play without it. Like, I was able to prove that wrong. I was able to prove that right, I mean. But Link Spider is like, once they give you a rock token, it's not a Cyberse. It's hard to extend, especially when you got extenders in the hand. So you want a Cyberse on the board. So you'll go link that token, no matter how big that token is, link it away, get a Cyberse monster on board, so you can be able to extend from there. Especially like if you need to link out of the hand with one of the coders, because you need a Cyberse monster. And then the link ones is your 2 Bay links and your talkback lancers. That's pretty much it. On this is pretty much self-explanatory. You need to just get you your sanctuary, and you go off from there. And you need an extra downlink to complete the U-lock. That's why I still play 2 Bay links. That's the extra deck, guys. Off to the side deck. Triple Nibiru, guys. Triple Nibiru. This is for like any combo decks such as Dragonlance. Dragonlance is still a thing. Any other road decks, mirror matches and stuff like that. This is just mandatory to me. Then the hate for invokes. The hate for invokes, I'm telling you, Lancia is just hateful. It's just a card that once you do this, it's over. Most of the time it's over, especially when you have this in the hand, maybe with a Nibiru, or this and a Bell. It's hilarious. So definitely triple Lancia. Double Bell. I was actually gonna play DD Crow over this, but Bell is a lot better in my opinion. Stops a little bit more. It was between DD Crow, Bell, or Skullmeister. It was one of those. I'm still contemplating between this and Skullmeister in a way, but I don't know. You guys tell me what's better, Bell or Skullmeister. Triple Dark Ruler, no more. This card, again, combo decks, you want to be able to shut them down, because you will lose to combo decks. Decks that's not combo and has more control, you can try to ease your way around it. This hurts pretty much almost everything, including Invoke Dogmatica, because if they have the wind on board and everything on board, you need to shut that down. And it helps. It really does help. The droplets, as I mentioned to you guys, double droplets. I wanted to fit the third one, but I really didn't know what to take out and for the side deck. But this helps a lot better, because you can add the stuff that you needed to add, like triple Dark Ruler. Like, I'd rather triple Dark Ruler over triple droplets any day. But the only downside is that you can't OTK them that turn with the droplets. I mean with the Dark Ruler. So if you guys got an idea to fit the third one, please let me know. And then the last two is Harpies and Raigeki. Harpies and Raigeki, this is your destruction. I was gonna take these two out and just put Lightning Storm, but as I mentioned in the last video, if you rip it mid-game, it's dead because you already have a board. This, if you rip mid-game, you have a chance. So like, you're gonna either force negate, or you're gonna clear the board. So there you guys have it. My Cyber / Code Talker deck that I took to the tournament yesterday. Again, my X1 with it. I did do some changes, as you guys saw, taking out the Salad Engine and taking out. I even took out Monster Reborn. I took out a lot of the things that I felt like weren't necessary, even though Monster Reborn is an extender. But I'd rather Cosmic Cyclone just because it's back row hate. Now, for cards that some people may not have, such as Tactics or Droplets, there are alternative cards that you guys can play. If you don't have Tactics, I highly recommend you play Dark Ruler no more. If you don't want to play Dark Ruler no more because you'd rather push for an OTK since your opponent doesn't take damage, then play Nibiru, because even if you give him a big token, you can still actually pop the token with access code token and still push for game. Now, when it comes down to droplets, if you don't have droplets and you have imperm, play imperm. If you don't have neither, then play Chalice, Forbidden Chalice. Still a good card. It's not once per turn. Yeah, sure, your opponent's monster gains some attack, but you're negating the effect. And the fact that it's not once per turn, it can help. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, TCG is playing this a lot differently than the OCG. OCG is heavy on traps, we're a little bit better on hand traps. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to Ruben Figueredo. He actually hit me up. That was the guy that actually came in first place in the extravaganza. And he hit me up when he saw that I did a video on his deck profile, and he actually hit top 8 with Code Talkers again. However, his build, he is playing the trap build. He is heavy on the trap build, and he's topping with it. So he wants me to do another deck profile with him, with his deck, so to explain to you guys, maybe test it out again, see. He did some slight changes to it, and I will give that to you guys next. But for this build, I did it without the traps. I'm playing one trap one trap, and I want to jump it up to 2, but it shows that it doesn't matter what build you play, whether it's the trap or the hand trap version, the decks have potential to becoming meta, winning a tournament, whether it's extravaganza, regionals, locals. It doesn't matter, as long as if you know how to play this deck and your opponent doesn't know how to stop certain combos, then you guys have a chance in actually either topping or winning at these events. So if you guys have any questions with this build, don't hesitate to hit me up. If you guys have any ideas that I can incorporate into this build, please hit me up and let me know. So other than that, I do hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and if you did, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, show some love by hitting that subscribe button and that notification button as well. Guys, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you at the next video. Later.